guy, like the guy that got most of the news coverage, he was all dressed up in furs and whatever else. He was like refusing to eat in jail, so they gave him like a fully organic diet because he like refused to eat the jail food, and they didn't want
He's
him to like I don't know get sick or whatever or
Yeah.
like it takes
really
a
that's what
while to die of
happened.
starvation, but
Okay then.
like it just kind of surprises me that they would be willing to do that for someone, you know.
Right.
Like if you make enough of a fuss, like it's the same thing as like someone complaining to the manager. You know what I mean? It's like when people are assholes, they actually get more of what they want, and they know that, and that's why they keep doing it. You know, because people are
That's
like,
why.
I just don't want to deal with this person, so I'm gonna give them what they want. You know, and then people who don't ask for like what they want usually don't get it. You know,
They
but
usually don't. It's not
yeah,
wrong. I feel like it's like if you don't be assertive, you're not gonna get anything in life, and if you are assertive, then you'll get the shit you want in life. I feel like people don't learn
it's
that
just like
lesson.
and it needs to be a good balance, though. You know.
Like you can't be assertive all the time because like some people will be like frightened away, and if you're too shy and not talkative, then like you're not gonna get your way.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No, that's
mean,
definitely true.
most people kind of do like either find a balance or just be complete dicks about whatever they do and just like really be unbashful kind of people and just roll with it, and then
Yeah.
that's how they make friends or family or whatever.
I think they don't even think about it because they're just so used to being like that. Like, for instance, my dad, whenever we go to a restaurant, like, literally half the time he complains and tries to get his food, like, you know, paid for or whatever. Like, oh, that wasn't good, you know, why would you ever serve that? He's always complaining about something and it's always so embarrassing. But they
Is
just don't,
it? I mean, you do
Wow.
tell me the
they just
stories a
don't
lot.
realize it, though. Like, I think that some people are just so, like, ignorant to the fact that they're just being, like, super belligerent and, like, I don't know, just like really unpleasant to be around. It's like, okay, so maybe they get what they want, but would you really want to be known as that person? You know?
That
I don't
person
know.
that's telling weird stories, or
No, like that person that just like, I don't know,
Oh,
like
causing a scene.
always, yeah, always causing a scene, always like upset about something. Like you can't just I get it. It sucks when like you don't enjoy your food from somewhere, but like
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I guess maybe it is worth making a fuss. You just I really don't know. I don't really stick up for myself in that way. Like I'm not like, God damn it, they made terrible food for me. How dare they? It's just like I guess I won't eat that again.
Well, just like for like when you're paying for your food, and then say you're using debit, credit, or like cash, either of
Yeah.
those nowadays, you're not gonna tip them if it's that bad.
Oh,
They'll
totally.
just give you the same look and like, yeah, I'll see you again, never.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
kind of
no, you're right
situation.
about that. But it's just like I think it's more just like the way he comes at it. He's like ready to pick a fight. You know what I mean? Like he's like all
Oh,
defensive.
shit
It's
disturbers.
just like, yeah, like instead
Yeah.
of being like, oh, sorry, I really didn't enjoy that. He's like, well, you know, like that was terrible. That was just awful. And like, you know, you guys should probably do something about that. And you're just
Uh-huh.
like, okay,
Right.
yeah,
It literally is like people that are just like want to cause a scene and create chaos for other people for their own kind of like enjoyments.
I think I don't know. I think he's just believes that people are going to fight him back, but it's just him projecting. You know what I mean? Like I think people project their anger issues onto other people, so they're like, oh well, if someone talked to me about food like that, then I'd probably be angry. So I'm gonna expect them to be angry, and then it just kind of makes them act that way. If that makes any sense, you know?
Yep.
I kind of do.
But like even then, like it's like when you get customer service people, like they're not gonna be angry at you or like fight back. They're literally just gonna be like, okay, we'll try to make this better for you. If you want something else, like that kind of thing. Like I could never be front of house. Like I'm assuming that you probably have to deal with people like that all the time, Logan. But
I
maybe not.
used to,
I mean, you
not
do work
anymore.
at Tim. Like, I don't think that people really bug you at Tim Hortons because
No.
people are just like, this is like, you get what you get at Tim Hortons. Like, it's good, but it's like crappy at the same time, and everyone knows that. Like, they're not like, oh yeah, like, how dare you
Yeah.
make my donut? Like, usually everything is pretty much the same and consistent, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no, I used to deal with a lot of customer complaints at McDonald's. That was
Yes.
fun. That was fun.
That was.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I guess, yeah, especially if you're working at the Douglas location, I can see that.
Actually, no, the worst ones I've dealt with were Calgary.
What happened?
Oh, it was Calgary. Okay.
Yeah, Calgary had some interesting characters.
Interesting characters. I'm
Are
like,
you
okay.
able to share those stories, or
Which one?
I don't know, just any?
I
guess?
had one lady get mad at me for the ice cream machine being down for self-cleaning. Like,
Nice.
really
Like,
mad.
you can do anything about that?
I have no control over it, and they
Yeah.
thought I could control it. Where she moved her hand across the counter and hit a plastic sign case we had up there.
Oh wow.
And then that came back and hit me. Yeah. It
Did
was
she feel
actually
bad?
kind of funny. Well, I was told I could press charges, but I told them it wasn't really worth my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't seem like it though.
Yeah. Yeah, trying
But
to
did she like
still be
apologize
nice.
when that happened?
No, she didn't. But trying to be nice during that whole time was actually really funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And after she left, me and my coworkers had a good laugh about it.
Nice.
Sounds like it though.
I've also seen some impatient drivers through the drive-through
Yes.
try to jump the curb, where one time someone's muffler fell off.
Oh jeez.
Really?
Yes. And I don't think it was actually their car.
Oh wow, even
I
more
think it was their
helpful.
parents' car.
Oh jeez. Well,
So,
obviously, if they make that kind of mistake, then that kind of makes sense.
yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
You've been in the ringer.
Kicking people out, sleeping.
Yep.
Had a guy shooting up in the bathroom where I had to kick him out.
That
Oh
I
my
can
god, you see that all the time. Like, I was literally walking down Granville, and like, I was just walking past this A&W. This guy was straight up, like, I just looked in the window, and this guy's straight up just like shooting up, not trying to cover it up or anything. He's just sitting in the chair, like shooting up some heroin, and you're just like, okay, I guess this is normal.
I've seen someone rip a IV out of their arm.
Oh wow.
Start spraying blood on tables.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then having to go clean it up wearing the proper gear.
Yeah, the proper gear.
Yeah, because they asked if basically either me or any of the other managers could do it, because it was on my normal shift. It was on a closing shift, and a lot of the other managers couldn't, because apparently they're scared or like nervous around like blood and bodily fluids and that. But I don't get nervous at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people actually like pass out even at like just talking about blood makes people pass out. It's
right.
Crazy. Like literally my like my manager or like my boss at my other job, like he did a first aid course and he literally just passed out when they were talking about blood. Like
oh really?
Yeah, he knocked the fuck out.
Wow.
And didn't see anything. Like literally just but yeah, just talking about it.
It's not at all. I'm
I
like,
never do that.
Hey, then.
That's good.
Yeah,
know.
like
That's good.
Some people are just super, I don't know, like, and also once I was in a bio class and this girl, like, this actually involved blood. Like, we were testing our blood type and she passed out on the floor and she had to leave early. So.
Yeah, okay, alright then. That's,
I'm just really
should you
happy.
be in that class?
I'm really happy that I don't faint that easily. I could not imagine.
I couldn't at all, actually.
Like,
I was never scared of blood, I'll be like, oh, okay, it's happening.
Yeah, this is happening.
Yeah, it's like, great, neato, just what I wanted.
I mean, you don't want to ever have to clean up bodily fluids, but if you can handle it, just go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why, like, or partially why I don't want to be a nurse. Like, I've thought about it, but it's just like all the shit and piss and blood that you'd have to deal with. Like, honestly, I don't care about the blood. Although it really depends. Like, people could have hepatitis or like random diseases that you could get. Like I just
Oh, I
that
can definitely see
that
that. You
that kind of
kidding?
scares me. But like defecation and urine, no, thank you. I'm okay. I don't want to deal with that. I
It's
don't
just
want
like,
to.
I
I don't
don't
want to
want to deal
change
with
people's
this.
diapers. I don't want to smell that. I cannot handle that. Like animals, fine. I know they should. I don't really care. But like human shit is disgusting. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Just Vancouver.
It's
Like
not the
there's
best.
I have nothing against homeless people, obviously, but like downtown there's so much human shit everywhere in every corner and there's needles everywhere and it's just kind of like I'm not going to wear my shoes inside at all because that's disgusting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, is it worth it? No.
No. Like I try not to wear my shoes inside, but I used to kind of like wear my boots upstairs sometimes when my hands get really stiff when I get cold, so sometimes I can't unzip things properly, so like I just like didn't take off my boots until my hands warmed up, but now I'm just like I need to take off my shoes when I get inside because that's disgusting.
Right.
Like I have yet to step in it, but like I'm sure that like through all the rain that goes through Vancouver, like I it by default I've kind of stepped in human shit probably.
Yeah, and
probably.
you want to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, and that's fine. I mean, people have their own ways of dealing with stuff. They're just like, should I deal with it? Should I deal with it now? Should I not?
Wait, when it comes to human shit, or like what do you mean?
Well, yeah, just like nowadays, or like before, I guess, like in very ancient times, like we didn't have that, so all you could do is just like look at shit.
I could not imagine what it would be like. Like in places in like rural India, it's definitely a problem because people just shit in their backyards or whatever, and it contaminates the water supply, which is terrible. Like, I
It
couldn't even
is
imagine
terrible.
what it would be like.
I know
Not
when you always see those like
happening.
whenever you always see like ads from like different countries from like around the world, or if like different charities try to help them out, it's like, are they really helping them out, or is it just for publicity at this
Right?
point?
Okay, I'm sorry. Like I know this is probably just like a really ignorant way to think, but like most of the time I don't trust charities because it has come out in the end that they don't actually use all the money for like the people that they're saying they're supporting. So I never like I'm not trying to be a dick, but I never donate to charities because I don't actually know where the money is going. I can never guarantee like where the money is going, you
No,
know?
because it's
Yeah,
going
that's
somewhere else.
Like is it going
most
into
of the time it could be.
advertising that charity? Is it going to the CEOs of that charity? I don't know. Like I know that there's non for profits, but it's just like I don't trust it. And
And
that's
it's funny
Yeah,
because
that's
like you look at other channels in YouTube or other social media, and it's like, oh, I'm doing it for this charity. You should be doing that too because I'm a big head person that wants to help everyone. And I'm like, are you
yeah.
really helping the person?
Yeah,
Doesn't feel like it.
totally. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you think about like GoFundMe's and stuff, like I'm not trying to be rude, but like there was like this one guy that died and he was obviously from like a richer family and they were like raising money for his funeral and he was like super young. He was like maybe like 22 or something. And like they raised like $30,000 for him or something, probably more than that now. But it's
Probably,
like
I was gonna say way more than
but
that now.
like it's like that's one person that's died and you're paying for their funeral for a family that's already rich when there's like millions of people dying every day of starvation. Like you could put that money towards that rather than some kid that died for his funeral. And I know it's tragic that he died, but at the same time there's like probably better ways to spend that money.
yeah.
My
Well,
personal opinion, I know it's controversial, but I don't really care. Like it's like they only needed so much money for the funeral, and if they like, I think, I don't know. Even though I just said that I don't like really trust charities, they should probably donate the rest of the money that they don't need. You know what I mean?
I know it's very like a double-edged sword with that concept with charities. People are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm a big head person that like really wants to like make a change," but is it really just talk, or is it is it bark, or is it all bite? Really,
Yeah.
I feel like it's all bark than bite nowadays because everyone's like, "I'm gonna do this to make the world a better place." Everyone said that with Trump, and now everyone's just like, "Let's get rid of this person."
Wait, people are saying that the world was going to be a better place with Trump?
Well, most of
Kind
the
of.
supporters
I guess
were
that's why
Christian.
people. I yeah. Also, I guess that's why people would vote for him in the first place because they thought he was going to make it a better place. Unless
And
people
also
are
keep in
like,
mind they wanted to revert America to like 60 years before the
yeah.
current times.
Well,
So
literally,
really,
what conservatives are, they didn't want to conserve tradition, right? So it makes sense that they'd want to go back
yeah,
60
60
years.
years in the past though,
Yeah.
a little much. I mean, Logan, would you want to be in the States and have 60 years like all the way down? Would you?
Nah, I wouldn't even want to go. Like, I wouldn't mind visiting the States, but I wouldn't live there.
No, I'm totally in the same boat. I was like, I would like visit the States just for like obvious reasons and whatever
I
they're
guess.
like, selling, but I'm not
Well,
gonna live there. I don't care how cheap.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like. I've been to the States when Trump was president, and literally it doesn't make that much of a difference. Like if you're just going on the coast, like Oregon, Washington, California, I even went through like Nevada and shit. Like it honestly like didn't really make a difference. Like
No,
I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
in other states that are, like feel more attached to Trump, I guess it would
I
be a
think
bigger deal.
so.
But like it's really nice to travel through the states. Like it's a really beautiful place if you guys haven't been there before. But
I
I've
haven't.
never been there.
So
What's funny though is I'm pretty close to the border,
you are.
and
That's a funny thing.
yeah, like hop, skip, jump away. But I've never
yeah, you could
been.
probably just go on a day trip there. Like not now with COVID. I have no idea what like. Can you even travel to the states with COVID going on right
No, the
now?
border's closed.
Oh, okay,
Oh yeah,
that's
that's right.
that's probably for the best.
Yeah, border's
Yeah.
Well, it's like everyone's in a panic, though. I mean, every day at my work, everyone's talking about politics and in the states, and I'm just like, can you not talk about how shitty the states are for like a week? I
True.
get it.
I mean,
Yeah, we live in
yeah,
Canada. Come on, just be
yeah.
happy about
We live
that,
in
I
Canada.
guess.
Well, I think it's just like one of those moments like people like to be informed about like the world and then like kind of make fun of other countries because I feel like other countries kind of do the same bit and it's just like a roundabout way of doing it.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know. I feel like the states are so overrepresented by the news, and I understand why, but it's just like I'm so tired of it. And like just as we're talking about the states, like it's just so ingrained in us to talk
I
about the states,
know because
you
like it's
know?
a topic that everyone can like either make fun of or relate to or just like a discussion to talk about for like a couple minutes.
And it's literally like
exactly.
90% of the media is from the states, like 90%, or like maybe like 80. But I'm like I swear to God, like 90% of what we take in is from the states, and
It
then
Oh yeah,
maybe
literally
like
is.
the UK, Canada, like I don't know anywhere else really. Like I don't know. Like obviously people from China probably have their own platforms, but I think that everyone is informed about the states, you
Yeah,
know?
no, everyone
yeah,
is
guaranteed. Everyone is.
because like it's just like a because like everyone likes the states because they make more mistakes than any other countries.
And they're just like they run so many different companies, and everyone is like it's like a pretty rich country. There's so much drama going on there. Like it's corrupt, but it's like it's almost like a big TV show, you know? Like I don't know.
Yep.
It
It,
literally is because everyone will be like, "Oh, have you heard about what's happening in the states
it
in this section?" And I'm like, "It's pretty shady. You shouldn't go there."
Yeah.
Also, like, try to get like advertisement for going there to pay off other bills and fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of memes pop up online, and it's mostly about the States.
It
Yep.
is because
Especially
everyone's just
with
like,
what happened
well,
recently.
because it's like
Oh my
everyone
god.
it's
It's like also like with the whole thing of it being like 2021. It's just like people expected it to be different or like better. It's like literally
We're in
nothing
a global,
changed. We're in
yeah,
this.
we're in a global
It's
pandemic.
just if you yeah, it's like it's a sequence of days. Like people, I don't know why people separate years because it doesn't make any sense. It's like this is just like a continuing sequence of days. It's not a separation. There's nothing separate about these 2 years. It's just
Yeah.
continuous. That is all it is. It's not gonna. I don't know.
and you're not wrong though too.
Yeah. Sorry, Spencer. I cut you off. I didn't
No,
mean.
well, I mean, it's fair because everyone's expecting like the 20s to be the best time ever, and I'm just like, isn't it kind of like a global pandemic kind of last a couple more years, and then the other half is just like we're just recovering from it. I feel like
I
it's just like a modern version of like the Great Depression.
It makes me so sad though because it's like this is like, you know, we're only young for so long and we have to go through the pandemic when we're young, right? And we're just like wasting all these years being isolated
Hmm.
because of a pandemic. I don't know. You can make the most of it though. I'm like I feel like I'm being pretty cynical about the whole thing. Like I just what? I don't like it. Obviously no one likes it, but
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
no one likes it except like lonely people that like want attention, really. Like attention seekers have just like they don't have many friends, but they want to get attention from others just to make them feel better about themselves.
and you think the
And I feel like
pandemic.
with the homeless people that are like running about out and about, I feel like they're just doing this to get people to go outside more so they could get spread the disease. It's kind of a morbid thought though, too, right?
I
Because
know.
like we're all about like homeless people having their own places, but I'm like, well, what if they have a disease that they're carrying and they're not saying anything about it? So I get
Well,
it. Like we live in a time where it's like social media and everyone else is just like, oh, we should help these homeless people because it's like they chose their lifestyles, but we should choose it for them so that they can actually live longer and not die faster.
well,
It's like,
it's a hard thing to say. Like, I mean, I think it would definitely help prevent disease, homeless people not being on the streets. Like, I don't know if you've ever been on East Hastings, but like literally
I have.
no one wears masks. Everyone is all like bundled up in like literally like I've seen people like lying on the street literally only wearing like a thin t-shirt and they're just literally lying there sleeping in
Yep.
maybe 2-degree weather. You know,
Yes.
like they should probably have shelter. They should probably have some form of shelter and like healthcare
Yeah,
because
and some healthcare. Yep.
yeah, because my friend was telling me that like something like 45 or 50% of people had antibodies for coronavirus that were on the street in Vancouver. And it was a small study, but like it's a pretty insane amount of people, right?
It
Yeah.
still is though too. And I feel bad because like even with that, with vaccinations, like older people are getting it first so they can live longer. And then it could be like younger people have to go last. I always
Yeah,
feel
young
like it
people
should be
left.
like it should be every age, not just like a specific age group.
I think well, they have to organize it in some ways. Like it's like what I've heard is that healthcare workers and old people first, and then like you said, young people last. I don't know, but I guess it's like middle aged down to young people.
Well, I guess it depends like where it is though too. I mean, like who's the most vulnerable person to like get it? A older person that's in their 50s to 70s that has physical disabilities. Should we give it to that person first or the healthy young person that's going to live longer than the disabled person?
Yeah.
Because like it really
What
comes
do
down
you
to
think
that.
about it?
I mean, I didn't want to be a jerk about it, but like that's kind of how it is because everyone's like people want like a person that's the most weakest to live longer, and people that are
Yeah.
like healthy and strong should just go last.
Yeah. So you're kind of the mindset where it's just like, well, they're gonna die soon anyways, so.
I mean, I feel so
Yeah.
morbid saying that, but I'm
Yep.
just like,
Yep.
I don't know how I feel, honestly. Like, I think you're probably, like, right in a way,
but it's
but
kind of true though. I mean, like, say if
yeah,
like if it was me and like another person that's like really like has like different mental disabilities, has different physical disabilities, but we should give that person the right to live longer and get the vaccination. Well, I'm the last person because I actually work. I haven't not worked in the past year or something, and I'm gonna go last because they look at me as like, you're gonna live than this person that has physical disabilities here. We're giving you to you last for like a last resort.
yeah. Oh
And I feel
yeah,
like with
yeah. It
people
is
running
disabled
that,
people too. Uh,
yeah, it's both
or
mental.
like immunocompromised people. Yeah, I think okay if like coronavirus was like more like dire, I guess. Like if more people are just dropping off like flies. Like I know that a lot of people are dying, but at the same time, like I think it's more just people getting infected. Like
It really is.
if yeah, like if it was like a lot of people dying, I think I might side with you more on that. But like at the same time, I don't even know if I want to get the vaccination to be honest with you. So I don't really care if people get it ahead of me. I know that I should probably get it, but I don't trust it. It hasn't been tested long enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Like I just don't want to get it until at least I see like the results after 2 years. I'll let everyone else be the guinea pig. I don't care.
Let the mass media be the guinea pig while we just wait.
Yeah, I don't know. I really just don't want that in my body if I don't really know like what's in it or like not even what's in it, but what it could cause in later years because like things do affect you differently like after a while, you know. Like you
They
don't
do.
get the
Yeah.
results right away.
Oh
I don't
no, they
know.
definitely do.
I'm like super paranoid. I don't know.
I mean, we kind of live in a world where just like we rely on social media and all the news to tell us what's going on, when in actuality, part of it could be true and part of it could be false, right?
A lot of it is false, and that's why I'm so skeptical because it's just like everything is like there's some kind of like monetary like motive for people to be saying what they're saying, you know? Like I don't like it. I try to stay away from the news because I just don't trust anything that they're telling me unless it's like some actual event that happened. Like
Hmm.
even then they're going to like be biased about who was the bad side in that situation, you know? Like it's I
I
I
know
want
it's
to
so
stay
jaded.
informed, but I just yeah, I just like don't I also just hate the news. I hate how it's presented to us. I wish that it was unbiased, but it's never going to be like that.
Until change happens and we're less in a technocracy kind of society. I
Yeah.
did mention that, but like what I mean by that is just like everyone's like democracy or conservatives. I feel like we live in a world where we're kind of relying more on technology, so that's what I mean by technocracy.
Yeah.
Like it's its own like
Well,
technological kind of
yeah,
like
like
politics.
that's the weird thing about it too is like we have a lot more access to information, although like powerful people still do have quite the sway on what we get to see and what we don't get to see because there is a lot of information out there on the internet, but what you do get to see is usually a very biased opinion that
You're
has
very biased. I
yeah,
mean,
that's
we all
Yeah.
been
have that freedom
supported
where we
by
can
just like
have
rich
anything
and
we want.
powerful people that want you to think a certain way.
I know. I mean, like look at the devices we're on right now. I mean, they're probably seen it like 30 or 40 years ago, and they're like, okay, well now we'll give it to like society now. We'll finally give them that privilege.
Yeah.
Because it's been like that for like thousands of years at this point.
Wait, what?
Maybe less than that, but like I'm being dramatic, but like it feels like it's been like that. The world's been kind of been controlled of what we want to see and what we don't want to see. And that's
Yeah. No, no, no. I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
I mean, I'm the mindset where it's just like I feel like we should get along with any nationality and race, but the sad thing is with like other people's like public opinions on it, it's just like, oh, this East Indian person's getting along with this Dutch person. Oh, that's so wrong. I mean, that's such a vague
Yeah.
comparison, but like it's because that would actually reach like the #1 spot in any kind of news article. It's like, oh, two other nationalities not getting along. Okay, what about two other nationalities getting along? They'll get less likes because it's not intriguing enough. It's
That's
not
very
different
true.
enough.
Yeah, it has to be controversial.
It's got to be controversial, and if it's not controversial, everyone's just gonna turn a blind eye.
Yeah, it's like how people go to like racetracks because they want to see like cars like, flip and people die. Like it's like
Do they?
I honestly don't think that people would be going to those things unless they thought that maybe something could go wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what
do
you
you
mean.
really want
Yeah.
to see a car go around a track like 100, 200 times, without anything happening? Like
Logan,
one
isn't
guy
it
wins
200
the race.
times?
Wait, what?
I was asking
It's
because like
some
he's really
fucking.
into like racing. That's what I was
Wait,
asking.
you are into that? So why do you watch it?
It's on you. You're into racing. Come on.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I watch mostly Formula One.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
why I was
it's
asking
way
your
different
opinion
than
because
like
like,
going in a circle. Formula One's actually much better, in my
oh,
opinion.
Wait, what is that?
Formula One is it's a European racing. They go about sometimes over 300 miles an hour. I
yes.
think they said. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, you
Why?
always mentioned like racing, but you never said you're
Mostly
racing.
to show off like uh, technological advances with vehicles,
I
like
Okay.
guess I see.
aerodynamics, battery cells.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have some big name companies in there like Mercedes, Ferrari, Renault,
Oh yeah.
McLaren,
I've
and
heard of
then
that
there's
actually.
also
Funny enough.
Red Bull,
Yep.
and like they're showing advances with engines, with batteries, suspension, aerodynamics, and they can use it on vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
but they also use it in races.
Oh yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
can they put like NOS or like energy drinks into cars and make it go faster, or is that just
You can use nitrous oxide. It's
okay?
not an energy drink, it's a
You
chemical.
can, people get high with it though, don't they?
It is illegal to have and install in Canada, but you can get it in the US.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's legal there, but I have heard that people have it out there.
I can see it though, because I
Yeah,
can see it more in America because like I feel like that it's the quote unquote freedom,
But I mean,
like
yeah,
at
go
the
there's
same
crazy.
freedom
time,
to do almost
America
anything.
is totally like war on drugs and shit. Like they're definitely like in Canada. There's like didn't like one of the provinces recently decriminalize drugs or something, or like
Which
drug possession. I'm just trying
which
to.
province was that though?
Actually, no, no, no. Definitely, like in the states for like weed, they did that. But one second.
They decriminalized. I don't think they legalized it yet in the US, but I heard in some states it's decriminalized.
For
Oh, it
drugs,
is.
or
Just for weed.
yeah, just for weed. I know
know
for sure that weed in
some
some
people in the states.
places is decriminalized, and a lot of people are getting out of jail now, but that have been in jail for like 20 years, which is so fucking depressing. But
That is depressing. 20 years later, and just like okay, half my life's gone.
well,
What to do now?
Yeah,
um, okay, Portugal is the first country. Okay, I guess maybe not in Canada.
It's just like all. Oh yeah, I did want to mention that though too. Actually, like in during the first wave of the pandemic, it's funny because like when I got forms from my union saying like what we should or shouldn't do, and one of the main top 5 reasons for the COVID or just like make sure you're less stressed is don't follow the news.
Oh
no,
my
because the
god.
news is going to tell you things, and like some countries nowadays are coming out stating that they did not give the true results
Yeah.
of their
Well,
cases.
okay, I'm sorry, but China definitely has not. That's where it started. And literally, like, whenever I check the death tolls or anything, it's like 0 new cases, 0 deaths. in China, and it's been like that for like months and months, and it's just like that can't be possible. Like if there's so many cases, like I think that they are in lockdown more than other countries, but that is not possible. They're just not reporting cases.
What I've heard from people who watch the news, apparently they have the pandemic going on, they're having a drought, so they're running out of food.
Oh.
And the Three Gorge Dam might break.
Oh,
so then
okay.
they're going to have a flood.
Yes.
That will disown multiple people in China.
Okay.
Wait, why is
it's already a rough time.
They're getting screwed over like no tomorrow.
Yeah, really, like hard. Like
the Chinese government leading party apparently ran away.
Right.
With all the money.
Of course they did.
How?
So,
how can you get away with doing something like that, though? I guess it's just a corrupt
the Chinese government. They can do what they want.
And that's there, and it also answers your question. It's how the corrupt system runs. If someone actually has the big boss actually gets away with all the money and all the other things, then if he's alive, he or she's alive, they're scot-free. Yeah. But if they get caught doing that, is it the people going to answer that, or is it going to be a different government system owning up to that?
Yeah.
That's the real question. Because we could do running in circles with that question all day we want.
Oh, yeah. We could talk for hours about corrupt governments and how they work.
That's true. I mean, that's why people are just like the CIA and like NSA, FBI. It's like, can you really trust them? There's a lot of cases where it's like they kind of got away with like criminal activities to the point where everyone's like, we get away with it because we're a part of the government. And if you stand up to us, then you're standing up against the whole world. Or do you want to do this? And I'm like, it's like...
yeah, and then they find dirt on people, and then they blackmail them so they don't say shit about, like, the terrible things they've done, and then it comes out, if it ever does come out, it comes out, like, 30, 40, 50 years later, like...
Right?
I don't know, like, it just... I don't know, like, I doubt that we have, like, even, like, I don't know, like, a quarter of the information that is out there, I guess, or is no longer out there. They probably got rid of it, you know?
Oh yeah, probably got rid of it or hiding somewhere in some other country. That's how a world works. If everyone wants the truth, like people are gonna hide it, destroy it, or do something else. Because there's one show from like Amazon or whatever called The Boys, where it's kind of doing that, where it's like the superheroes are kind of like the X-Men, but if the X-Men were fucking all over the world.
I was about to say I've heard of that, but I haven't watched it.
No, so the main premise is it's just like the superheroes are doing illegal stuff. It's like some of them are trying to hide their gender, their religion, and some of them are just like, oh, what's that?
What is it called?
The Boys, or Bad Boys, I think.
Is it good?
The Boys.
The Boys. And
like it's the main on Amazon Prime Video.
Yes.
Oh, is it free or is it paid? Because like literally every fucking thing is on. Why the hell do they even like? It's like, oh, you get Amazon Prime, and then they're like, oh, Prime Video comes with it. Blah blah blah. It's like, what, like 40 shows that I don't want to watch that are fucking terrible. I get for free, and then everything else I have to pay for. Nice. Good deal. Thank you for that.
It's a good deal. This, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, Sarah, technocracy. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's here. It's not changing.
Well, yeah, we have literally no control over it. If there's demand, they're gonna make money off of it, and it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. If you protest it, it's not gonna make a difference because they can do what they want, and they have control over it. So
unless like it's like a whole global.
You have to accept it for what it is in the end,
right?
Because you're gonna want to continue using technology, and like they know that. So no matter what, you're just eventually gonna have to pay for everything.
I know.
Like, even with YouTube, they make it almost impossible not to pay for it. Like I've never bought YouTube Premium, but like just everything is headed in that direction, you know.
It already is. I mean, you probably don't know this, but in Vancouver a couple years ago, they actually did do nano chipping, and it is a thing nowadays.
Is it?
It is. It's like it could literally be used for your credit card, your bank info, like your social.
Why the hell
Status
do you
card.
want that? Like, first of all, it changes. Second of all, technology gets better, so you're probably gonna have this huge ass nano chip in your arm when,
Yep.
like, maybe like 10 or like 20 years later, it could be like extremely microscopic, and you like I don't even know. And but what is the point? We got this far without microchips. Why do we need them now? I don't understand.
I
Yeah.
think people want to express their individuality by actually being nanochipped. Like one of the guys actually looks like an alien. He doesn't look like a human being anymore. He said
Oh,
he wanted to look like a humanized ogre.
no. I think I totally saw the video that you're talking about.
And it's a thing that's actually true because people want to look different. We don't want to look the same. What are we,
Yeah,
just robots?
I don't care if people want to look different. I just don't get nanochips.
Because people want cool color tattoos that looks like nanochips.
I
That is
suppose.
That's a thing. Nanochip tattoos. It's here. It's not changing.
Wait,
Yeah,
is it
you can
Price-
also get
actual
QR code tattoos.
Logan, would you go for one?
Yes, used to.
What?
But
Yeah,
that
tattoos.
just it doesn't make sense because like soon again, like that will be obsolete technology. Like QR codes or whatever, like that's gonna be
Yeah.
obsolete soon. And then you're just gonna have this random thing on your arm that's not gonna mean anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard people do it. I never seen one.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing I wanted to bring up too. Is like most of these like advanced technologies aren't in countries that we expect it from. Like
Yeah.
Turkey's the one that did the nanochip first because they're an independent country. So
And
is that a
Turkey, like,
thing that like independent countries or
yeah.
like low countries have more benefit than other big countries?
I don't know about more benefit. I think they let their citizens kind of fall by the wayside and then they're able to put more resources into like random technologies.
I know, and I'm just like, is that really beneficial just for the country or the world in that aspect? Because they get that freedom of opinion while others kind of don't.
Yeah.
Well, it's like if we compared like an election from like, I don't know, from like a very small country like Ethiopia versus like a really advanced, really civil country like, I don't know, Asia, for example. Who's really going to be more concerned of a smaller country winning some election that no one cares about versus like a big country that like despite their government really corrupt as hell, it's really just like, oh, this person's going to change like the trades industry, the market industry, everything else versus a small country versus Ethiopia where it's just like who's going to make sure we're not going to have smuggling from other countries, for example.
Yeah.
Fucked up, weird up analogy, but like that was the main thing I thought about when people are just like comparing advances from other countries.
You're just talking about like progression versus like just
Regression.
kind of yeah, not even regression, but you're just like literally just focused on maintaining your country rather than like just maybe being corrupt, but trying to cause some kind of like progression in technology or whatever,
Well,
or
I
like
mean, it's
make
kind
your
of
mark on
accurate
the world,
though.
I guess.
It's still kind of accurate though. It's kind of how it is nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, people are always when there's like world conferences. Really, who's listening to the world conferences besides people that are like so invested into the market? Like,
I'm definitely not watching those. But
right?
like
I don't even know when the last time there was one.
See, that's what I mean. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, we gotta all stay connected." I'm like, "Really? We don't know what World Congress is happening. Why are we gonna care if it's just an elitist party rather than like a minority, which is, the working and lower classes?" I feel like there should be a system where it's like it should be all classes and everyone should get a vote, no matter how big or small. I don't
yeah.
know. I feel like
Yeah.
it would just be more beneficial. I mean, trust me, I'm not a politician, but I feel like everyone should at least, even if they don't care how the world's going to change, they at least want to get their opinion out there. Because I feel like
Yeah.
just getting up
I
there,
think
even though I haven't voted at all last year.
Yeah, I think there should also be like more of an effort to inform people because it's like, okay, well, you say like we have these like elected officials to make decisions for people because they're uninformed, but it's like, well, if we inform the public, then maybe we can have more of a community vote rather than like, having these like specific people make decisions for us that are probably not necessarily the best for us or in our best interest, but rather theirs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. But I mean, it's true. I mean, like with the past elections, there's a snap election and then like a provincial city election, which I didn't vote for any of those because I didn't have any of my status cards or any of my ID cards working at the time.
Yeah.
I could have used like one of my rent paychecks and would have gone in just fine, but I felt like I already know who's gonna win in the end. So I feel like, I mean, I'm kind of contradicting what I was saying before. Everyone should have an opinion, but like, should you really vote if you already know who the winner is just by default?
I mean, or the fact that it like doesn't really make that much of a difference who's in power, especially in America. Like maybe in Canada it's a little bit different, but like
It's a bit
also I
different,
think
but
I think you're more like saying kind of like how like it feels with coronavirus. It's like, okay, maybe I don't want to go outside, but I want the option to go outside. Like it's like the
right?
same thing. It's like you want the option to do that. There should be the option to do that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you want to do it necessarily.
No, but I
But
mean,
at least that's how I'm taking what you're saying about voting. Like
well, it's
everyone should have
just,
the option.
oh, I know. It's just like the two reasons I didn't vote is like one, my ID cards couldn't even get into the voting ballot at all, and then two, I kind of already knew who was gonna win without even voting.
Yeah.
Did I get shit on from my other friends on that? Considerably. But did I tell them who was gonna win regardless?
Yeah.
A couple hours later, they're just like, okay, yeah, you were right. I'm like, well, the media and everyone else was voting for it. I was gonna vote for them if I had the proper like info, but
I honestly don't even
I
know
couldn't.
who won in either of those things. So
I think it was NDP that won, and then for our city, well, I guess my city, I think it was just like an older person in their 60s that won. It was a bald person, but it seemed friendly enough where it's like
yes.
they wanted
Well,
change. Just a
yeah.
bald person.
Just some
I
bald
mean, hey, you don't
guy.
see midgets voting.
Don't see what voting.
You don't see little people or midgets voting.
What do you mean?
I mean,
What?
you don't see the physically disabled
I
person
but
as a
I like
president.
I've literally
I mean,
only
I'm
seen
pretty
like
sure people
three.
do.
No,
I
I
mean, they
think they
do.
do, but it's just like I've literally only seen three midgets in my entire life, so that's probably why you've never seen them vote because they're just not that common. I don't think that they just don't vote. Like
I
I just
know.
like have you ever seen a midget in person? Like I said, I've
Yes,
only seen three.
I've never seen
yes.
one.
I've seen one. It is hilarious. It's the size of a 4-year-old.
Spencer, you're too controversial. Oh my god, that's so
It's very controversial. Am I making fun of them for this? No, but like you don't see people with like different colored or skin try to vote as much. I
in,
mean, like in the States, like you
in
see a lot of
Victoria.
white people go for
There's
it.
like
And
no fucking black people at all. Like I literally like I only know like three or four black people in Victoria.
Mhm. I get
Maybe
that.
like okay, maybe like five black people, but like literally like there's there's no black people in Victoria. That's also why they don't vote that often because there's just not that many of them.
I get,
Like
I get that.
Victoria is very white, you know. It is very white.
It is.
Yeah, I know. I was made fun of for being a white native because I didn't look native. I get it. Not fun. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Are you partially white?
I'm not even white. Like I
You're
might be
like
like
a
quarter
native.
white, but not fully.
Yeah.
Just that one quarter English, and that's it. It's probably mostly from my grandmother's side, but I mean, really, it's kind of sad. Like with like political parties, it just should be more diversity instead of just a person that made it up from the top, from the bottom. And what I mean by that is like climbing up the social ladder. I mean, I guess that really affects voting nowadays and just political matters.
It's literally always been like that. Like it's not like a new thing. It's just like whoever has power and influence and money is gonna make it to the top and gonna make political decisions for poor people, and that's literally just what's gonna happen until we die. Like
I know.
not to be cynical or anything, but that's just how it is, and I don't really know how I feel about that, but I can't really do anything about it. So
Well, it gives you a bittersweet feeling, though, right? I mean, I get it. It should be the person that has the
I'm
most
pretty sure
power.
it's like just a bitter feeling for me. I don't feel any sweetness towards that, but yeah.
No, for reasons I know. It's just like, I feel like it should just be a change in the political matters. I mean, should I be voting at my age? Yes. Should I give a damn about what's happening in the world? Kind of. Depends on the part of the world now. That's the funny thing. It's like 20 or 30 years ago, people are just like, oh, I don't know that's happening in this world. Oh, me neither. And now 30 years later, everyone's like, oh, this country's doing such and such. It's like, oh, they're doing this for this charity or whatever. I mean,
like to a point, I think people are informed, but I still think that our population is pretty uninformed. Like our generations,
yes.
like we know what is like the craziest news out there, right? Because it's interesting. But like most of like I don't know. I don't think we know most of the world news that's going on, honestly.
No, I feel like they're just hiding from it. Like majority of it.
Yeah, like as much as I want to know about that stuff and like I don't know, like I don't know if I want to know because I just don't know if I can do anything about it, you know? Like it's like I don't want to spend my time being depressed about what's going on in the world and especially since I can't change it, you know?
Right? It's like with the people nowadays, it's like people that are least informed or at least have the education know what's going on in the world, and then they actually get their opinions out there, versus the person that's like not educated as much as they should. They know tidbits of the world, but they still want to at least try to make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've had those convos with Scott where it's like before he left the show, and he wanted to do a comparison between big businesses and small businesses and how it's changed over the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Because with the pandemic, that's also infected everyone too, like small businesses wise. Like you don't see them going batshit crazy.
It's actually insane though, like how many businesses have shut down.
Oh yeah, no, you'll see videos of like people had to doing like different job occupations just to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, do I empathize with them? Yeah, for sure. Am I in their shoes? Not really. I'm kind of in a union job where it's like I kind of rotate where my job site is, and if I can keep working, great. If I can't do it because of a physical disability, so be it. I'll gotta get an EI or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I guess it really comes down to perspective. I guess it matters.
No, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, like it does suck for like small businesses that they like have to shut down. But I hear what you're saying. You're kind of like in your own world of just like trying to like take care of yourself and function.
Well, I mean, everyone's like, people don't think self-care really matters. It really does matter.
It does. It affects everything. Like
Oh,
since I'm taking like this film course or whatever, like it like literally part of the application and like part of like what you have to learn is like you have to take care of yourself. You need to make sure that you get enough sleep and that you're not too stressed out and that like they literally tell you to do yoga and eat well and like exercise, whatever
oh,
else. They tell you not to do drugs. Like literally they have like this like huge ass form that you have to read about like how to take care of yourself and how not to like burn out or whatever. So at least,
wow.
yeah, like I've never seen a job like that before, but like apparently it's important in the film industry.
Yeah, really, because I never knew about that at all.
No, neither did I. That's new.
Yeah, like I've never had a job where they actually give a fuck. Like, if you work in a kitchen, they're just like, huh, you got 3 hours of sleep? Well, I got 2 hours of sleep, and I, like, was up all night doing cocaine and drinking, so what are you complaining about? Like, that kind of thing. You're just like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just keep my mouth shut. But,
Yeah,
like,
right.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, it really depends on like what different trade jobs, I guess. Like
Yeah.
everyone else is doing their own thing. I mean, I've seen other different trades talk about other trades. It's like either back talking them or just like, oh, they're making more than us. Or just like the difference between like the higher paying trades jobs versus the lower paying trades jobs. I just know
Yeah.
there's a monarchy over there, and I've never noticed that for the past year until recently.
What is, like, a higher paying one? Like, is electrician
Like,
higher paying than carpentry?
No,
Or
the highest paid trade would have to be aircraft mechanic.
yes,
Oh, I have
it
no
would.
idea what
It
that
actually
is.
is.
Basically, it's a mechanic that works on aircraft engines, like jets and that.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I mean,
They
like,
get paid a
okay,
lot.
that makes sense. But I was just thinking on, like, Spencer's work site specifically, I guess.
no, it
Oh,
would be like
construction.
supervisors against each other, and it's just like
Yeah.
carpenters against each other, and other subtrades against each other. It's literally
Yeah.
like that every day. But I mean, it's like that's also why it's like everyone's like, you should go outside when on your days off. I'm just like, really? I'm really sore from yesterday. Should I really exercise way more than I should?
No, you need rest days. You definitely need rest days.
Oh
Like,
no.
it's super important. Like, your muscles need time to heal, you know? Like, it is good to exercise, but you can't constantly be exercising. Otherwise, you're gonna fuck your body up.
I know, and people are just like, oh, it's like you gotta balance it out. I'm like, yeah, some people do and some people don't. I mean, I do balance it, but like, there's some people that go too over crazy for it. Like
Yeah,
changes.
I've been on both sides where it's just like I under exercise or I exercise way too fucking much and it's just like terrible for my body.
Mm.
Like, I've actually felt worse when I've been exercising, like over exercising versus just like lying in my bed constantly or just like
just
lazy, you know?
just constantly out of it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. Uh, I mean, we have been at this for the past while, but honestly, like doing an hour episode or like 45 minutes with an episode is totally fine with me, though.
Yeah, me too. As long as like it allows it. I like honestly like I don't really know what direction we're going with the podcast now, but like it's been such a long time since we've done like an actual episode.
I
Yeah.
know, and like the direction like I want us to go for is like just try to get it on YouTube and other platforms. That's my end goal.
Yeah.
And
But
just
maybe are we gonna try to like do topics again?
yes, I do.
And
But
yeah,
like
and you were saying that you wanted to redo topics that we already did and like revisit them and see what else we have to say about them.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could always change it up though too, but like I just want to create an audience and to see if
Yeah.
people actually, generally like the show, and if they don't like the show, that's totally fine. We can still do our own thing. I don't want to do it where it's just like we're doing paid advertisements just to get like views. I kind of want to.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
think
entertaining.
it's kind of like that you have to get views before you get paid advertisements though, in my
I
opinion.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you have to have like a certain amount of views in order to get ads because like otherwise like the companies like literally don't want like they don't see the point, I guess.
Yeah, and that's kind of it's sad how that is. You need advertisements just to support your show, but I mean.
I mean, it would be cool if we could get money from YouTube, but like I'm not going to keep my hopes up about that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't want my hopes up high at that point either. I'm just like, we'll see how it goes. I just want to get more of an audience and a fan base going, really, and just more people just invested in the show. Because
Yeah.
like, we're not like a show where we're talking about like every other subject. I mean, hell, we partially skimmed most of politics, and we're not really into politics now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe this podcast will force me to be a little bit more informed. Like, more than anything, if I see any information that is political, it's on Reddit. Like, I don't go anywhere else.
Oh,
Like, I'm
Reddit
not.
is so funny.
It
I
is.
like
There's
hearing
some good
people
things on
say it.
Reddit.
Yeah,
That there is.
I like hearing like personal stories, and I like hearing people's opinions. And I don't like I like news stories, but I like hearing what other people have to say about things. You know what I mean?
And that's really just what I want the show to be, is just like personal life stories, personal experience in like subject matters they're interested in and not interested in. Because I feel
Yeah,
like that makes more of like a show rather than like a show full of advertisements that you're never ever gonna want or use.
I know. Even
It's like
like
live TV.
yeah, but
Yeah.
even like when some people that I watch on YouTube like put advertisements, like they'll be like sponsored by someone to like sell a product like soap or something, and it's just like I don't want to hear about this. I know I can skip ahead, but like sometimes I'm just like lying on my bed watching something, and like then their like random advertisement comes up, and I'm just like I don't I don't care about this. Like, why are you doing this to me?
Why are you doing this to me?
Stop.
Why am I caring?
Yeah, like I cannot handle like listening to like Squarespace and whatever the fuck else, like it's always something. But yeah.
Yeah, it's something that'll be beneficial for like other, well, I guess other businesses, but like not a business you're into.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how it is, though. I mean,
Like sometimes the content is like something that I'm interested in, but like I don't know. I don't know. It just bothers me. I don't like advertisements because they're everywhere now. You know what I mean? Like it's like
it,
I go out of my way to ignore an ad. If I'm forced to watch an ad, I ignore it, and I don't like I literally just blank out so I don't have to hear it. You know what I mean? Like it's like my way of rebelling against it, I guess.
yeah,
I am
rebelling
not
against
gonna watch your
commercials.
stupid ad. I'm not gonna listen to it. I'm not even gonna take in the information about what it's about. It just I don't know. I
It's just
cannot.
like, why bother? It's like, should I care about it?
It's not even why bother. It's just like screw you for forcing me to deal with this for 30 seconds or whatever. You know what I mean?
For 30 seconds.
Or usually it's 5 seconds, but like I have ad block on my computer, so it's not that big of a deal. But like sometimes I have to deal with ads, like especially if I'm using like a TV uh, to watch YouTube on because I can't put ad blocker on a TV.
Right. Yeah, it's weird how, like, advertisements are just 80 or 90% of the world nowadays.
No, we're so used to it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't want to make the direction of the show live shows, all advertisements for days, live charities that people should or should not care about.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want it to like that level. I want to do it where it's like people like our show just because of who we are, and not because of what we're trying to sell.
yeah,
Because I feel like there's already too many shows that are just doing that enough as it is.
definitely.
I don't mind like our show going to like the point where it's like it's kind of nuance or niche, where just like it has less of a following than other people, like I don't know, Seth Rogen or something, or whoever does podcasts or other shows nowadays, where they have
There's
like
a lot of
5,000
podcasts out
episodes.
there.
I
Yeah, they
know
are.
there's so many podcasts out there, and
And
like I don't know, like I was trying to find some good new ones, and there was like I don't remember exactly what it was called, but this like really flamboyant gay guy was like, and I literally just saw like the the front picture of the podcast, and it was just like curiosity or something like that. Like it was just literally like talking about random topics, and it looked interesting, but I literally could not listen to it. Like he was so annoying. Like I'm sorry, but he was just like, "Oh, so like why do the Egyptians do that?" And it's just like, okay, I literally cannot do this right now. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
walk through the park, and this is like way too fucking much for me, you know? So, like, it's like nothing against flamboyant people, but I literally cannot fucking handle that. Like, it's too much for me. It's too, like, I don't know.
Too
Yeah.
much.
I couldn't do it. I was just trying to walk through Stanley Park and enjoy my walk and, be calm, and I could not be calm listening to that, so I had to turn it off.
Yeah, just like turn that shit off, never see it again type of bullshit.
Yeah, like, I think it was just, like, a novelty, right? Like, it's just, like, this, like, really, like, insane guy, like, asks really, like, educational questions or whatever. And it's just, like, a novelty for people to listen to it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, some people will be into it and some aren't really.
Like, there's some people, like, I get it. Like, there's some podcasts where, like, people are so, like, da 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 da, and we're like, okay, like, you don't even sound interested in what you're talking about. So it's like there needs to be, like, a happy medium of just, like, this person is interesting and quirky, but it's not taking away from the information they're giving me. You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
kind of what I kind of want the show to be. It's just like we're invested in the things we're talking about, even if we're not really 100% confident in it. But like we
Yeah,
want to explain our points and opinions and our lifestyles about it because we all grew up differently,
yeah,
and like we all have like our own opinions and favorite hobbies and interests, I guess.
yeah.
But like I don't want to do it where just like, oh, this is what happened in the news, blah blah blah. Like I get it, we've heard this a billion quadrillion times already.
So
Yeah.
many people talk about the news.
Well, just like I don't want to be that show where it's just like we're talking about the news. I literally got feedback from like a few friends and family members about that, and just like if I wanted to hear about a depressing topic, I just rather watch the news. I don't want us
Well,
to be the
to be
fucking
fair,
news.
we have been talking about the news, like,
Yeah,
really,
we
like,
we've talked about
30%
the
of
news.
this.
I know, and it's like it's been
But,
like an
like,
hour for like the recording, but
yeah,
like we're explaining our opinions about it. It's not like we're totally informed about what's happening.
And
yeah.
it's not like we're actually naming where we get the information from.
Yeah, literally are.
It's not like we're saying, "Oh, I saw it on like what's a news station?"
CBC,
I was
Yeah,
literally gonna say
CBC,
CBC.
CNN, BBC.
Yeah,
DC.
No,
BBC.
BBC.
Oh, BBC. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fox News, I guess, obviously. That's a big one.
Yeah, I was
I,
gonna say Fox News, EBSN, I guess. But I mean,
yeah.
but that's what I mean. It's like we're not trying to beat them. They'll make millions because people like sports.
But, well, we're not trying to report on anything. I guess we're just giving our
No,
opinions
we're
on
just
it.
talking. Yeah.
I just want it to be an open, general discussion kind of show. I don't want to
Yeah.
do it where it's just like we have to be divided on like one subject matter and we both love it or hate it, and then we'll argue about it for hours. We
Well, I
don't
mean,
have to do those
I
type of episodes.
I think the point though is, like, more just like let the flow of conversation happen. It's like maybe we will disagree on something, and that's totally fine. But we're not going to try to be controversial for the sake of being controversial.
No, I mean
Because,
most of
like,
Exactly.
yeah, like, we disagree on things, but, like, it's not like we're trying to, like, I don't know how people in the past in this podcast have wanted to make it more, like, racy than it really needs to be. Like, forcing people to talk about things that they don't want to talk about necessarily just for
uh
views. We're
Oh,
not going to
really?
name any names, but we don't need to do that. We don't need to be, like, any certain way just to get views, because that's stupid.
we are talking about Dan on this, Logan. The reason why I'm looking like this is because I
I
know what's happening.
I
It
guess
was
we're
such
not
a
keeping this recording.
I don't know.
what's that? I mean, we can. I mean,
I don't.
we
But okay, Dan would definitely not watch it to the end, anyways. He would not watch an hour and 8 minutes of this, so I
true.
no,
could maybe.
could be. I mean,
Either
it
way,
Go
just
through
it's
editing and
true.
cut it
It's
out.
true that he did push people to, like, do things that they didn't want to do because he wanted more views.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's just
Like, if
like,
you
I
don't
don't
want to talk about something, just don't talk about it. Like,
exactly.
who cares about views? and all that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
like,
oh, like, don't you want this to blow up, or don't you want like this account to be like big? It's like, why does it like literally like I just enjoy doing this. I enjoy like talking about random stuff, and I actually like Spencer. I do like having a topic personally. Like
yes.
I really enjoy that because usually we have like really good conversations. And I'm not excluding you from this, Logan, but I've never like done a topic piece with you before. And I'm
Oh,
not saying that we're like really good at it or anything, but like I don't know. I really enjoy it. I think it's really fun to like force yourself to kind of think about one specific thing, you know?
Like, we
yeah.
don't have to follow the format as like we have like 5 or 10 or 20 questions. We can just segue into like some subject form of the same subject. Like,
Yeah. Like
we just gotta question it.
I Yeah, and I think sometimes like it's like if you're at a loss for what to say, it's nice to have notes on like just like some like a random draft of like kind of ideas that you had that you wanted to talk about or bring up.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes that's good
Oh,
to do ahead of time, but it's like it doesn't need to be as structured as we had it before. Where like Logan before we would do like 5 different questions or 5 different topics that we wanted to talk about, like subtopics underneath the main topic. And
Yes.
like it's not bad, but it's just like we had to write it out for everyone, and it was just like I think it was just too structured. Like it
yeah, that sounds
seemed
like more
it
work
was.
than what it should have
I
been.
know,
It
right?
is.
It
That's
was
literally
just
what it
so
was.
stiff because it was like we were trying to fit everything in, and we were trying to do it within 50 minutes or something like that, and it was just too much. Like it was just
Yeah.
not fun anymore at all.
It felt like a PowerPoint discussion for business, and I'm
Exactly.
not into that.
Oh, same.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
so I
I
mean,
would
like, I do agree. I do agree. We do have to do like a subject matter, but like, if we have questions
just pick
or
like a overall subject matter. Don't do like sub questions
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah,
Just
and
like
but if there is something specific that you want to talk about that you feel like you might forget,
then
then maybe write it down. But it's like it doesn't need to be so structured, you know. Like we don't need to have a specific way that we structure it before we do the podcast, but we can definitely talk about it in the group chat too. Like,
oh yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I want to do with Discord, and then Skype we can just like record the actual video and audio.
yeah.
oh yeah, Discord we can
Is
use for like talking
is
and
there
that.
a reason why you want to do Discord over Facebook?
No, nothing at all. I just, like I said, like with the direction with the show, I wanted to do it on like different platforms as well.
Yeah.
Like he wants to try out like different communication platforms and
I just mean specifically for talking about the podcast, nothing else. Like not even like
Oh,
doing
we
the
could still do it on
podcast.
Facebook. I'm not like
Yeah.
not
It just
against.
because I check Facebook way more. Like I have Discord up on my computer, but most of the time it doesn't notify me or it's not loud enough for me to notice.
oh I
So
get
like
notifications on my phone for everything.
Yeah,
yeah.
so no, I get that, and I have nothing against with Facebook on that though too. I was like I said for the direction of the show, I just wanted on different platforms as well.
Yeah.
That's for me. That's the end goal for me is just like getting that going, and then just getting an audience going. I don't want to do it where it's like, oh, I want 1 million subscribers by the end of this year. I'm like, no, that's really unrealistic. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't want to go too hard for that. I just want to do it where it's like a show where people can get along with it and just have stuff to talk about. I don't want to go too batshit crazy for it. I
Wait,
don't
Oh,
want to
so
do what Dan did and go so batshit crazy for
yeah.
views that we had to change the platform of the show.
Yeah. Did you are you gonna share it on Facebook or how are you like sharing this exactly?
The video, or
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Like
was gonna be on
I
YouTube.
would I would prefer if you didn't put it on Facebook and maybe just had your friends like I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of mutual friends and like sometimes I just feel like I guess it doesn't matter. I should be like less worried about it, I guess.
I mean yes and then no. I mean I get it. You don't want people to know about it, but at the
No,
same
it's not that I don't want people to know about it. I guess it's people that I know to know about it because I have like weird, like I don't know. It doesn't matter though. I guess people don't care. But I guess
Oh,
this will be the end of it, or you can edit it out, I suppose.
yeah, I guess.
Edit whiz.
Edit whiz, yeah.
I can stop recording now. I think that
Yeah, no worries.